Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today, I have another Dungeons & Dragons class description. And from the Player's Handbook 2, again, we have the Beguiler. Now, the Beguiler is a very interesting class. I had never really looked at it till just recently, and I gotta say, quite a weird one. It's an arcane spellcaster at its core, um, but it's a little more than that. It has a D6 health, so better than average for an arcane caster. Will save is good, the other save's not so good. Bad base attack, what you'd expect from an arcane caster there. A bunch, about the same spells as a sorcerer, except for um, one less, 9th level spell at 20th level, but otherwise almost the same as the sorcerer. I think it's just one less spell of the highest level is the only difference. So not too unusual. Um, what else? Now another weird thing, it gets 6 plus in for skills, much like the rogue. I think the rogue's 8, but it's close. It's up there. It also has a ton of skills, just like the rogue, which is weird. It also has armored mage, just like the bard. Has about the same armor and weapon proficiencies as the bard, except I don't think they get shields. Yeah, they don't get shields. So similar weapon proficiencies as the bard. Um, Actually, I think the bards actually do get weapon proficiencies. They just can't use it as well. Anyways, so they get that, which is kind of weird. They also get some odd stuff. Um, well, first off, their spells aren't exactly the same as the wizard sorcerers. They're not as good in a lot of ways. Most of their spells are just spells to mess with people. They have a lot of enchanting spells to, control people, like control monsters, dominate person. They got spells like that. They also have illusion spells that, affect people's perceptions of the world. Um, Spells like obscuring mist and invisibility that, affect not the people's perceptions of the world, but just the ability to be perceived, people's ability to be perceived. So they got stuff like that. They also can add a few. Now their way they cast spells is weird too. They have a fairly small spell list, but their spells known is essentially the same as all divine casters in that they know all their spells that are on that list. And they're like sorcerers in that they don't have to prepare their spells. So they can use whatever is on their list whenever they want. Definitely a good class in that regard. And they're like a wizard in the sense that they use intelligence. Yeah, it's an intelligence-based one on that regard, at least for their spells, which actually makes them worse because they use charisma for a lot of their skills. Although intelligence gives them more, so I guess it's a really complicated situation they got going on there. They also have something called advanced learning where they can add a couple of spells to their list from the wizard sorcerers, but it has to be an enchantment or an illusion in order for that to work. And they only can do like a couple of those ever, versus just one, then they get a couple more. They get a few weird things like they get trap finding, they get cloaked casting and surprise casting. So basically, they can feint in a melee attack. So yeah, they're going to use these. Basically, they'll run up to you with a sword, and then they'll feint an attack, and then from that, that'll freak the guy out, and then they can get bonuses on their magic by doing that, which is kind of cool. Um, they get silent spell and still spell eventually. Um, yeah, they also get all sorts of stuff. That's basically all they get, really. But it's a really odd class. They're a weird mix of They're a weird mix of a sorcerer and a rogue. Now, races like the gnome flock to this. Um, yeah, gnomes are just really big about taking up this class. Um, another weird, because gnomes are very tricky. Another interesting thing about this class is it's really heavy on abilities. You need a high intelligence for those skills as well as for your spells. You need a high charisma because most of your skills are charisma based. A lot of them are dex based too, so you want a high dex as well. Um, you're also going to need a high constitution because you don't want to die, and you're not exactly a backline fighter, so you're going to need a high constitution to stay in the game. Now, strength and wisdom are the only ones that really aren't so useful. But the fact that you're wielding a melee weapon, you might want a decent strength, even though you're probably not going to actually use it. You'll probably just be feinting attacks. But still, in case you actually do decide to strike ever, a good strength would be handy. So that basically leaves wisdom for your bad score. So probably going to have a crap for wisdom if you're playing one of these guys. It's a strange, strange class. It's really a hybrid between a sorcerer and a rogue. That it's a really crazy class. It really is. It's kind of like an illusionist wizard, and it also has enchanting. Yeah, and for some reason they get the power word spells too, which I'm a huge fan of those spells. Oh, I love those spells. So, a great class. Never looked at it until just now, and gotta say, definitely thinking of making a character for a Beguiler sometime in the future. Um, yeah. So, anyways, let me know what you think of the Beguiler, because yeah, from what I can tell, it's a pretty awesome class. Um, yeah, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of the video. I'd love to hear from you guys. I appreciate all your guys' feedback. I read all the comments, so I may not always respond, but I do read everything. Um, I do try and respond, though. Also, like my videos, because I'm not going to know if you like it if you don't hit the button, so yeah. And subscribe to my channel, because I have a ton more videos coming out. I have a ton already out, and yeah, you're going to be able to see them better if you subscribe. So, why not? Anyways, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you.